Okay, well this video is probably a little bit serious a video. I've been depressed the last couple of weeks. I don't know whether it's because I'm going home on Sunday. I need to go home because my banking has been stopped because my codes aren't coming through to authorise payments. So I need to go home to talk to the bank to see what's going on about that. I have a term deposit that needs to be redeposited again, and see if I can find the best place to put that. What else have I got to get? I got to get my medical, my dentist, and my health, full health medical. And that's all free. Once a year you get one in Australia when you're a senior citizen. What else do I need to do? I need to go there and finalise my divorce. After it's been 11 years now since we've been separated, and the girl's still living in the house with my son and my disabled daughter. So I haven't really pushed her because of Brianna, you know, but she's on a pension now, Brianna, or she's been on it since she was 18, but she gets full-time care from her carers now. And Lynn, my ex-wife, she doesn't really do anything much, you know, through the day because the carers come in and then they take her out and keep her entertained and take her to her therapies. And she also works a couple of days a week in a small place where you know, they not sure what they call it. Anyway, she goes there and does a bit of work. She doesn't get paid for it. She just stimulates her, you know, and she's with other people, which is a good thing for her, you know. It just makes her a little bit more outgoing. Yeah, so I need to finalise that so I can finally sell my house, because to be honest, you know, I don't want to die and leave my house to everybody. I want to sell the house, and with my share I'd like to, while I'm alive, give the people who are close to me some money, and my grandkids. The children don't need it. They've got good businesses and they're doing well. So my brother needs a little bit of a hand, you know. He's had his share of problems, you know, albeit his fault, his problems. But yeah, and it'd be nice to see the smile on their faces, you know, to help them out, rather than when you die and then they can just say, oh wow, you know, John was such a good bloke, you know. What else do I need to do? Yeah, I really like to sell that house and actually finalise the divorce. My ex-wife has probably done me a good favour by I haven't pushed for the divorce. And so, in actual fact, if I'd have done 11 years ago, I'm sure I would have got married again and more than likely had children to Bernadette or to Erilyn. So, done me quite a favour. Done myself quite a favour by not pushing the divorce. But I've got a bit of money left in term deposit, but I probably have enough to keep me going till, you know, if I pace myself to see me out. But I just like to get that money, you know. The place where we live in Collaroy on the northern beaches in Sydney, the real estate there has gone through the roof, and we've got ocean views, you know, it's not the best house in the street, but we're the worst house in the best street. And actually the worst house across the street just sold for $4 million, and we have better views than them. So it depends on the day, I suppose, who wants it and what happens. But So I could really use a couple of mil. But in saying that, if I sell the house, because I've been living out of the country, I need to stay in Australia for 6 months, just to avoid me paying capital gains tax on my share of the sale. So I either sell the house and pay the tax and come back to the Philippines, or I move back to Australia, wait 6 months, and not pay the capital gains tax. The capital gains tax on that is probably going to be around about 400,000, I'd say. But you know, my daughter's an accountant, and she's saying, "Oh no, Dad, you don't want to be paying the capital gains. Come back and stay in Australia." But I don't know whether I could come back and stay in Australia for 6 months. I can't even come back for a week. After a day, I want to come back home here. So there's a bit of dilemma going on there with that. But anyway, whatever it is, you know, nobody wants to pay capital gains tax, but it's an unnecessary evil if I didn't want to stay in Australia for 6 months. The other thing is I want to get my pension. And I got knocked back the other time, and whether or not it's because I wasn't living in the country, but they didn't tell me. But I'll try and find out when I go back and reapply. I've probably still got a little bit too much, probably 50,000 more than the threshold that I should have. So whether they give me a part pension or not, I don't know. The other thing is that if I sell the house, I won't need the pension because I'll be above the threshold again. So we'll see what happens. But if I do get the pension, I'll have to stay in Australia for 2 months. 2 months, I think it is, before I can take it overseas. That's what I've been told. And that's what Karen, my accountant, tells me, and my daughter, who's the accountant, tells me. And she's pretty savvy on everything. What else? Yeah, so I've been a little bit depressed with all what's going on ahead of me in Australia, and also what I'm going to leave behind here. You know, business is going so well, and, you know, God bless Erilyn. She works so hard. She's tireless, you know. She gets up at 6:30 in the morning. I open the store at 6 o'clock. She gets up at 6:30 because I go to the markets. And by the time she gets to bed, and she's on the go all day. I mean, it's not hard work, but it's she's on the go all day. And I think for a woman, a young woman like her, it's pretty full on, you know. So sometimes she doesn't get to bed till 1 o'clock in the night, you know. She's up again at 6:30. So, but I tell her, look, no one expects you to stay up until 1 o'clock. Get everything done. Stop browsing on the internet in your spare time. Put your head down, bum up, get everything done, and come, you know, just close the store at 10:30. You know, I've been trying to tell her to document how many people come after 10 o'clock. So it seems it's a waste of time, you know, with the lights and electricity and her staying up. You know, just get what you need to get done and come to bed at a reasonable time, you know. And I do stipulate that she needs to clean the store before she comes to bed. But she can close up. She can close those gates. We've got some stainless steel gates there. People can still come and she can still serve them, and she can do her cleaning in that time, you know. But when she told me last night that she'd come to bed at 1 o'clock again, I said, oh, you know, you don't need to do this. You're the boss. Just organise your time a little bit better, you know. So anyway, I'm a bit worried about her, you know, with the store. People coming in and out and getting distracted and people stealing stuff. So we're going to move the counter down to the bottom level so she can keep an eye on everybody down there. We've been busy stocking up so she doesn't have to leave the store. We've got the place is just chock-a-block, you know. We have to get probably about 20 bags of rice. We're stocked up on the things that we can't get delivered, you know, like, well, beer we can get delivered, rice we can't get delivered, so I have to organise. I've got a friend who's got a a ute, so we'll go down and do that. And so I said to her the other day, I said, it's just the long hours. It's not hard work. It's just the long hours and doing so much, and being in a country where you can't trust anybody, you can't put staff on, and even if you've got cameras, you just can't. You can't. There's ways of stealing. I know from when I had my store in Manila, in Harrison Plaza, they were stealing from me. They've got their little sneaky ways that they steal. Even if somebody comes here, you know, and a friend of theirs comes and they give them the wrong change, you know. And I'm not one to ask people to, you know, if they make a mistake. Like most stores around here, businesses, if the employee makes a mistake, then the employee has to pay for it. But I'm not like that. I wouldn't expect anybody to make an honest mistake, you know, and have them pay for it. It's just the way it is. Everybody makes mistakes, especially on their salary. You know, someone earning 300 pesos a day, and to make a 50 peso mistake, that's a big that's a big ask to get them to give you. So I said to Earl, and I said, we don't want to grow too much more. I said to her, don't get any more stock. Don't get any more flavours of chips. Don't get any more brands of biscuits. Don't expand anything. We're getting a good income, or she's getting a good income. She's hovering around about 25 to 28% monthly profit on turnover. And the only thing we have to pay out of that is the electricity and the gasoline and the upkeep on the car. Everything else, you know, the water, we've got a deep well. We don't pay rent. We don't have any staff. So the only thing that sort of comes out of that, obviously the permits have to be paid once a year, and all the cleaning products are taken out before the gross profit. What else? That's about it. Yeah, so she's doing pretty well, you know. The boarding house is money for nothing, checks for free type of thing. It doesn't cost us anything to run it down there. We're 80%. We've got one room, which is a transit room, so we've got 4 rooms downstairs, which are fully occupied with young girls, nurses and teachers, and they're a great bunch. And we don't have any problem with our rent. We always give them a kilo of rice if they're on time and monthly. And since we started doing that, they've been paying on time. I hate chasing people for money. I really do. Worst thing you can do is keep asking someone for money. And we used to have to do that before, but now we just let them, because I get a little bit excited, you know, if they're 4 or 5 days late and they keep telling you, yeah, next week with my salary, then now they're got it down pat, you know. They're paying their own electricity. We've got a meter in for them. They're paying that. They're splitting it between the 4 rooms. So pretty much that's it, you know. I said to her, you know, the GCash, that's a money transfer thing. That's an unbelievable money turnover. She's grossing around about $1,000 Australian a month with that. We're up to around about the 30,000, and she gets around walk-in customers. Half of them don't. No, 3/4 of them don't buy anything. They just come in for the GCash money transfer, and they're always there's about 30 to 40 every day customers with the money transfer. So that's money for nothing as well, you know. They leave money and take nothing. I'll just have to serve a customer.